and welcome to Lesson 12 of Learn to Play Hymns. This week we'll be revisiting another of our C major hymns and we'll be focusing on Sweet Hour of Prayer. This is number 220 in the Living Hymns hymn book, or alternatively you can use the link in the description below. Our approach to playing this hymn will be the same approach that we started last week. So it'll be the melody in your right hand, the alto note in your left hand, and we're going to play the bass note as an octave in your left hand to give it that full and strong sound that you need when accompanying a congregation for singing. Again, there are three components that you'll be working on. The first is your technical work, and that remains the same. That will be your C major scale, hands together, 1 octave, your F major scale, hands together, 1 octave, and your G major scale, hands together, 1 octave. You'll also do a theory analysis of the hymn, and you'll be looking for C major chords and also F major chords and G major chords, and identifying whether they're in root position, first inversion or second inversion. So write the name of the chord, C, F, G, above the chord, and then underneath write whether it's a 1 chord, a 4 chord or a 5 chord. So because we're in C major, your 1 chord is going to be C major chord, your 4 chord is going to be an F major chord, and your 5 chord is going to be a G major chord. Now in our last lesson we looked at 2 ways that we can improvise. Firstly, we looked at melodic improvisations, and secondly we looked at using the new C7 chord that we learned last week and seeing if we could insert that. So I'll give you some examples of these improvisations on the piano so you can have a listen, and hopefully you'll be inspired to work out some of your own improvisations and add them in to playing this really beautiful piece of music, Sweet Hour of Prayer. So just to review, our C7 chord is a C major chord which is comprised of C, E and G, and we're going to add the 7th note, which is a B, but we're going to lower it by a semitone and turn it into a B flat. And so we can insert this C7 chord in between a C major chord that is then followed by an F major chord. So that B flat is kind of a little stepping stone that gets us from C major to F major. So if we have a look at our music, we can see that the first full bar of Sweet Hour of Prayer is a C major chord. And then if we look at the second bar, we can see that's an F major chord throughout that bar. So instantly you can think to yourself, I can use a C7 chord to step from the C major chords into the F major chords. So I'll demonstrate this to you on the piano. We have here our hymn Sweet Hour of Prayer, and we're going to go through and see if we can add our 2 improvisational tools into the hymn. So firstly we'll look at adding the C7 chord, and as we said earlier, we're looking for a C major chord that's then followed by an F major chord. So as we start out, we have that's all on a C chord, and then the second bar changes to an F chord. So this is where we can add the C7. So what we'll do is we'll play our C chord on the first count and the second count, and then we'll add the C7, which is the B flat note, into the C chord, and we'll add it on the last quaver count before the second bar. So add it here, and all I did is you just add the B flat into either hand. It kind of fits nicely into your left hand because you're almost doing a C octave, and then if you just add the B flat below middle C, that's just kind of a nice place to fit it, and then you go into your F chord. So and then the second line is a repeat of the first line. So C chord, C7, and then F. So you can add your C7 chord into Sweet Hour of Prayer. Secondly, we'll look at doing some melodic improvisations, and that's a type of improvisation that really suits this hymn. The words and the music are very soft and reflective, so we wouldn't really approach it with a really heavy chordal approach. That doesn't fit the hymn well, but a sort of soft, nice melodic line works really well. And with this hymn, it's all crotchets and quavers. There's no longer notes that you sit on as a pianist that you really are looking for to try and put in some improvisations. So our longest notes are the crotchet notes. So really we'll look in a phrase to see where we could insert a few lines, a few melodic notes. So you could go, and prairie's long, and then that finishes on a C, and then the next note after that, it drops down to an A, which is a third below. So you could connect the C to the A and use the passing note of B, which sits in between the two notes. So I'll play from the beginning. Something very, very simple that you can do. So what I'll do is I'll just play through and I'll just try and come up with some melodic improvisations just to give you an idea of what you could put into it, but hopefully that will inspire you to come up with your own improvisations. So I just added a few in there. They're very, very simple. Always the focus for the pianist is to be on the message and the words of the song, so you don't want to improvise too wildly to take away from that. So just fit it in so it suits the song and the message, but just add something that's beautiful and encouraging for people to sing to. So good luck with your own improvisations. So just to recap, practice your hymn, Sweet Hour of Prayer, and work on your improvisations. Practice your technical work, that's your 3 scales. And thirdly, do your theory analysis of Sweet Hour of Prayer. Good luck, and I'll see you next time.